Every morning you crack those eggs into the pan, believing you're doing everything right for your muscles, your bones, your strength. You've been told for decades that eggs are the gold standard, the protein powerhouse that'll keep you strong and independent. But what if I told you that after 75, those same eggs you're counting on could be why you're still losing strength? Why getting up from that chair feels harder each month? Why your legs don't feel as steady as they used to? The truth is, something fundamental changes in your body after 75, something that makes eggs far less effective than they once were. And there's a specific type of cheese that works in ways eggs simply cannot match anymore. Before we dive into this life-changing information, do me a favor and hit that like button and drop a comment with your age so we can build a community of people who are serious about staying strong at any age. Let's get into this. Let me paint you a picture of what's happening inside your body as we speak. After 75, your digestive system doesn't process protein the same way it did when you were 50 or even 65. Think of it like a garden hose that used to have full water pressure, but now the flow is weaker, slower. When you eat eggs, sure, they contain protein, but your aging digestive system struggles to break down and absorb that protein efficiently. Medical research has shown that seniors experience what's called anabolic resistance, which is basically your muscles becoming stubborn, refusing to build and repair themselves even when you're eating protein. It's like knocking on a door and nobody answers even though someone's definitely home. Your muscles need not just any protein, but the right type of protein delivered in a way your body can actually use after 75. Now, here's where this gets really interesting, and I need you to stay with me because this is going to change how you think about breakfast forever. There's a group of cheeses, and I'm going to count them down for you, that contain something called casein protein. You don't need to remember that fancy word. Just think of it as slow-release muscle food. Unlike the protein in eggs, which hits your system fast and then disappears, casein protein from cheese releases slowly over 6 to 8 hours, continuously feeding your muscles, rebuilding them bit by bit while you go about your day. It's the difference between throwing a bucket of water on a plant once versus having a drip irrigation system that waters it all day long. Which plant do you think grows better? I've talked to women in their late 70s who switched from their daily eggs to incorporating specific cheeses into their breakfast, and they reported something remarkable. One woman shared how she'd been eating 2 eggs every single morning for 40 years, but by 76, she was struggling to walk up her stairs without holding the railing with both hands. Her daughter, a nutritionist, suggested she replace those eggs 3 times a week with cottage cheese mixed with a little olive oil and herbs. Within 8 weeks, not overnight but consistently over 2 months, she noticed she could climb those same stairs holding just 1 railing, and by 4 months, she was going up without needing to hold on at all. That's not magic. That's what happens when you give your aging muscles exactly what they need. Let's count down the 5 most powerful cheeses that science shows work better than eggs for seniors over 75, and pay close attention because each one does something unique for your body. Coming in at number 5, we have mozzarella, particularly the fresh kind. Now you might be thinking, wait, mozzarella is just that cheese on pizza. How is that going to help my muscles? Here's what makes mozzarella special. It contains highly bioavailable protein, which means your body can actually extract and use the protein without working too hard. After 75, your digestive enzymes aren't as strong, so you need foods that are easy to break down. Fresh mozzarella has about 7 grams of protein per ounce, and it contains all the essential amino acids your muscles need to repair themselves. But here's the kicker. It's also incredibly easy to digest, much easier than eggs, which can sit heavy in an aging stomach. Many American seniors who've made the switch tell me they feel lighter, less bloated, and more energized. Try adding fresh mozzarella to your salads or eating it with tomatoes and basil for lunch. The combination of protein plus the healthy fats helps your body absorb nutrients better. But as helpful as mozzarella is, number 4 does something even more powerful for your bones. At number 4, we have ricotta cheese, and this is where things get really exciting for muscle building. Ricotta is made from whey, and whey protein is scientifically proven to stimulate muscle protein synthesis faster than almost any other protein source. Studies have found that adding just half a cup of ricotta cheese to your daily diet, that's about 100 grams, can improve skeletal muscle mass and even help with the balance in seniors. Think about that for a moment. Better balance means fewer falls, and fewer falls means staying independent longer. One 78-year-old man I heard about had been eating eggs and toast every morning but still felt his legs weakening year after year. His doctor suggested adding ricotta to his breakfast routine, mixed into oatmeal or spread on whole grain bread. After 12 weeks, his muscle strength measurements improved by 18%. That's not a small change. That's the difference between needing help getting out of a chair and standing up on your own. The beauty of ricotta is it's versatile. You can eat it sweet with a drizzle of honey and cinnamon, or savory with herbs and a little salt and pepper. Your muscles don't care about the flavor. They just want that high-quality protein they can actually absorb and use. Now we're at number 3, and this is where most doctors don't emphasize enough. But this cheese does something critical for your joints and flexibility. Swiss cheese, specifically aged Swiss, contains not just protein but significant amounts of vitamin B12 and zinc, both of which decline dramatically in seniors and both of which are essential for maintaining muscle mass. Here's what you need to understand about aging and nutrition. It's not just about eating protein. It's about eating foods that provide the complete package of nutrients your body needs to use that protein effectively. Swiss cheese gives you about 8 grams of protein per ounce, but it also supports your nervous system with B12, which helps your muscles receive proper signals from your brain. When your nervous system isn't working optimally, your muscles can't contract properly, which leads to weakness even if you're eating enough protein. The zinc in Swiss cheese helps with protein synthesis at the cellular level. Think of it as the construction workers who actually build the muscle, while protein is the building materials. I've heard from people who added just 1 or 2 slices of Swiss cheese to their lunch daily and within 3 months noticed their hand strength improved. They could open jars again that had been impossible for years. That's real functional improvement that changes daily life. But we're not done yet, and the next 2 are the most powerful of all. Coming in at number 2, and here's where things get especially important for women over 75, we have cottage cheese. Cottage cheese is absolutely packed with casein protein, that slow-release muscle-feeding protein I mentioned earlier. 1 cup of low-fat cottage cheese contains about 28 grams of protein. To put that in perspective, you'd need to eat 4 large eggs to get the same amount of protein, but here's the crucial difference. The casein protein in cottage cheese is absorbed slowly over 6 to 8 hours, providing a steady stream of amino acids to your muscles, while egg protein is absorbed within 2 to 3 hours and then it's gone. For seniors dealing with sarcopenia, that medical term for age-related muscle loss, this slow-release effect is game-changing. Your muscles are being constantly repaired throughout the day, and even overnight if you eat cottage cheese in the evening. Many people who've tried this report that eating half a cup of cottage cheese before bed actually helps them wake up feeling less stiff and sore. One 79-year-old woman shared her experience in a help forum. She had been struggling with severe muscle loss despite eating eggs every morning and chicken for dinner. Her legs felt so weak she was considering a walker. Her daughter convinced her to eat cottage cheese twice a day, once at breakfast mixed with fruit, and once in the evening with a little olive oil and pepper. After just 10 days, she noticed the morning stiffness in her legs was less intense. After 6 weeks, she could walk to her mailbox without feeling exhausted. After 4 months, she joined a gentle exercise class, something she hadn't had the strength for in 3 years. That's the power of giving your body exactly what it needs in a form it can actually use. And now we've arrived at number 1, the absolute most powerful cheese for seniors over 75. And this is the one that ties everything together. Parmesan cheese, especially aged Parmesan, is hands down the king of muscle and bone building for older adults. Let me explain why this is so extraordinary. 1 ounce of Parmesan, that's about 2 tablespoons of grated Parmesan, contains 10 grams of protein. But it's not just any protein. Parmesan is aged for a minimum of 12 months, often 24 to 36 months, and during that aging process something incredible happens. The proteins break down into smaller, more digestible pieces, and the cheese develops exceptionally high levels of bioavailable calcium. We're talking about 336 milligrams of calcium per ounce. That's 30% of your daily calcium needs in just 2 tablespoons. But here's what makes Parmesan truly revolutionary for seniors over 75. It contains significant amounts of vitamin K2, a nutrient most people have never even heard of, but which is absolutely critical for bone health. Vitamin K2 does something remarkable. It takes the calcium you eat and directs it into your bones where it belongs, instead of letting it deposit in your arteries where it causes problems. Think of vitamin K2 as a traffic controller, making sure calcium goes to the right place. After 75, you don't just need calcium, you need calcium that actually gets into your bones to prevent fractures and maintain strength. Parmesan gives you both the calcium and the vitamin K2 to use it properly. The protein in Parmesan is so easily digestible that people with sensitive stomachs who struggle with eggs often find they can eat Parmesan without any digestive discomfort. Research conducted on Parmesan cheese specifically has shown that it's what they call a functional food for bone health and osteoporosis prevention in older adults. The combination of high-quality protein plus highly bioavailable calcium plus vitamin K2 makes it uniquely suited to address the 3 biggest concerns for seniors over 75: muscle loss, bone weakness, and poor nutrient absorption. I know what you're thinking, but Parmesan is expensive and I can't eat that much of it. Here's the beautiful thing, you don't need much. Just 1 to 2 tablespoons daily, grated over your vegetables, stirred into soup, or even eaten plain with a little olive oil provides substantial benefits. Many seniors have reported that adding Parmesan to their daily routine, they noticed within 6 to 8 weeks that they felt stronger, more stable on their feet, and had fewer aches and pains. One 82-year-old man shared that he'd been eating eggs for breakfast his entire adult life, but by 80 he'd lost so much muscle mass that his doctor was concerned. His wife started grating fresh Parmesan over his lunch and dinner every day, just a tablespoon or 2 each time. He also reduced his eggs to twice a week and added cottage cheese on the other mornings. Within 3 months, his muscle mass measurements improved. His bone density scan showed slight improvement instead of the decline his doctor expected, and most importantly, he felt confident enough to start doing light resistance exercises with bands, something he hadn't had the strength for in years. Now here's what ties all of this together, and this is critical to understand. After 75, it's not just about eating any protein. It's about eating protein your body can efficiently absorb and use, and doing it in a way that provides sustained nourishment to your muscles over hours, not minutes. Eggs were the gold standard when you were younger because your body could break them down easily and use that protein efficiently. But your body has changed. Your digestive enzymes are weaker, your muscles are more resistant to building, and you need a smarter approach. These 5 cheeses, especially Parmesan, cottage cheese, and ricotta, provide that smarter approach. Let me address something important, because I know some of you are thinking, but I've heard cheese is bad for cholesterol or cheese will make me gain weight. Here's the truth based on current research. Moderate cheese consumption, we're talking about 1 to 3 ounces per day, has not been shown to significantly raise cholesterol in most people. And in fact, the calcium in cheese can actually help with weight management by reducing fat absorption. The key is moderate, thoughtful consumption, not eating half a pound of cheese in one sitting. For most seniors, replacing some of your egg consumption with these specific cheeses will actually improve your overall nutrition profile. So what do you do with this information starting today? Here's a simple, actionable plan that won't overwhelm you. First, instead of eating eggs every single morning, which many seniors do, try this pattern. 3 days a week, have half a cup of cottage cheese with berries or sliced tomatoes. 2 days a week, have ricotta on whole grain toast with a drizzle of honey or mixed into your oatmeal. On the other 2 days, you can still enjoy eggs if you love them, but add a tablespoon of grated Parmesan on top. This simple rotation ensures you're getting that slow-release casein protein regularly while still honoring foods you enjoy. Second, make Parmesan your secret weapon. Buy a block of real Parmigiano Reggiano, not the pre-grated stuff in a can, which often has additives and less nutritional value, and grate 1 to 2 tablespoons over your lunch and dinner every single day. Put it on vegetables, stir it into soups, sprinkle it on salads, add it to scrambled eggs on the days you eat them. This alone will dramatically increase your calcium and protein intake in the most bioavailable form possible. Third, if you struggle with eating enough throughout the day or you're dealing with poor appetite, which is common after 75, think of cheese as concentrated nutrition. A small amount provides substantial protein, calcium, and other nutrients without requiring you to eat large volumes of food. Keep small portions of Swiss or mozzarella available for snacks. A 1-ounce piece of Swiss cheese mid-afternoon with a few whole grain crackers gives you 8 grams of protein and keeps your muscles fed between meals. Let's talk about realistic expectations, because I don't want you to think this is some miracle cure that'll make you feel 30 years younger overnight. That's not how nutrition works, and anyone promising that is lying to you. What you can realistically expect is this. Within 2 to 3 weeks of consistently incorporating these cheeses and reducing your reliance solely on eggs, you may notice you feel less bloated and your digestion feels more comfortable. Within 6 to 8 weeks, you might notice subtle improvements in strength. Maybe you can carry your groceries a little easier, or getting out of your car doesn't require quite as much effort. Within 3 to 4 months, if you're also doing some form of gentle movement or light resistance exercise, even just walking regularly, you should notice measurable improvements in muscle strength, better balance, and increased confidence in your movements. Within 6 months to a year, you're looking at potentially significant improvements in bone density, muscle mass, and overall functional capacity. This isn't just about living longer, it's about living better. It's about being able to play with your grandchildren without worrying you'll fall. It's about maintaining your independence so you're not a burden on your family. It's about having the strength and energy to enjoy your life instead of just surviving it. You deserve to feel strong and capable at 75, 80, 85, and beyond. Age is just a number, but how you feel in your body, that's everything. I know some of you are thinking, this sounds too simple. How can changing from eggs to cheese really make that much difference? Because specificity matters. The specific type of protein, the specific nutrients packaged with that protein, the specific way your aging body processes different foods. All of these details add up to dramatic differences in outcomes. This isn't about Chews being magic. It's about Chews providing exactly what your 75-year-old plus body needs in a form it can actually use effectively. That's the difference between spinning your wheels eating eggs and actually making progress with these targeted cheeses. One more real-life example that really drives this home. A 77-year-old woman wrote in a health community about her experience. She'd been following her doctor's advice to eat eggs for protein, but over 2 years she continued losing muscle mass and strength despite eating eggs almost daily. She was becoming increasingly fearful of falling, had already had one minor fall that thankfully didn't result in serious injury, and was starting to limit her activities because she didn't trust her body anymore. That fear, that loss of confidence, that's what muscle loss really steals from you. She decided to try the cheese approach. After reading about it, she started eating cottage cheese for breakfast, added Parmesan to her lunch and dinner, and kept mozzarella sticks as snacks. She did this consistently for 5 months. By month 3, her leg strength had noticeably improved. By month 5, she felt confident enough to join a senior Tai Chi class. 6 months in, her doctor was amazed at her improvement and actually asked what she'd changed. That's the power of nutrition that works with your aging body instead of against it. Let me give you one final critical piece of information. The leucine content in these cheeses is particularly important. Leucine is an amino acid that acts like a trigger for muscle building. After 75, you need higher levels of leucine to overcome that anabolic resistance I mentioned earlier. Parmesan, cottage cheese, and ricotta are all naturally high in leucine. Eggs do contain leucine, but the overall protein package in these cheeses, combined with the slow-release casein and the additional nutrients like calcium and vitamin K2, makes them far superior for seniors over 75. So here's your action plan broken down into the simplest possible steps. Step 1 this week, buy a block of Parmesan cheese, a container of cottage cheese, and if you want, some ricotta. Step 2, start tomorrow, grate Parmesan over one meal today, just one. See how easy it is. Step 3, within 3 days, replace your morning eggs twice this week with cottage cheese. Step 4, by next week, settle into the pattern I described earlier, rotating between cottage cheese, ricotta, and eggs, while adding Parmesan daily. Step 5, give it 8 weeks of consistency before you judge the results. Changes in muscle and bone happen slowly, but they do happen if you give your body what it needs consistently. Your body wants to be strong, your muscles want to function properly, your bones want to support you, but after 75, you have to be smarter about how you nourish them. These 5 cheeses, especially Parmesan at number 1, cottage cheese at number 2, and ricotta at number 3, provide that smarter nutrition strategy. They work with your aging digestive system instead of against it. They provide sustained protein release instead of quick spikes and crashes. They package protein with the exact nutrients your body needs to actually use that protein effectively. Remember, you've lived 75 plus years on this earth. You've earned the right to feel good in your body. Don't accept weakness and frailty as inevitable. They're not inevitable. They're the result of not having the right information about what your body needs now at this stage of life. You have that information now. The question is, what will you do with it? If you found this information valuable, hit that like button so others who need this can find it. Drop a comment below with your age and whether you're going to try this cheese strategy. Share this video with anyone you know over 70 who's struggling with strength or worried about falls. Subscribe to this channel because we're going to keep bringing you information that actually works for seniors, not generic advice that doesn't account for how your body changes with age. Your best years don't have to be behind you. With the right nutrition, the right movement, and the right information, you can feel stronger at 80 than you do today. That's not just possible, it's happening for thousands of seniors who've made these simple but powerful changes. You can be one of them. Start today.